This young man was forced to dig his own grave in a cemetery, laughing and joking, but when his family discovered the reason, they immediately called the police. Martinez's story started as an inspiring tale of ambition, ingenuity, and desperation. A hardworking young man from a struggling family, he was the type who would never let circumstances define him. While others doubted his bold proclamations that he would one day become rich and lift his family out of poverty, Martinez burned with a quiet determination. Then, one day, he had an idea so unconventional, it promised a shortcut to the wealth he had always dreamed of. Martinez had observed the growing fascination people had with the paranormal and the unexplained. He noticed how online videos and stories about ghostly encounters and supernatural mysteries amassed millions of views. In a moment of inspiration, he concocted a plan. He would fake supernatural events to gain fame and fortune. He began creating elaborate hoaxes in local cemeteries, including ghost sightings, moving tombstones, and eerie messages etched in the dirt. The locals were captivated by his staged videos. They went viral, and Martinez soon turned his newfound fame into a thriving business. He offered haunted tours of the cemeteries he had transformed into urban legends, charging significant fees for his spine-chilling tales. His ingenuity and marketing genius brought in a stream of income that far exceeded what he had ever made working odd jobs. Success brought comfort, but it also brought complications. As Martinez's fame grew, so did the scrutiny. People began to investigate his claims, and skeptics challenged the authenticity of his videos. Martinez, desperate to maintain his reputation and income, doubled down on his hoaxes, making them more elaborate and riskier. One day, he decided to stage his most ambitious spectacle yet. He planned to fake a curse that would play out in real time, using himself as the centerpiece. The stunt involved him digging his own grave in a cemetery, claiming that he had been marked by a vengeful spirit. He broadcast the event live on social media, laughing and joking as he dug, pretending to be haunted by unseen forces. As the live stream gained traction, drawing thousands of viewers, something unexpected happened. Martinez's laughter turned into gasps of genuine fear. He froze mid-swing of his shovel and stared into the hole he had dug. The audience watched in horror as Martinez began to sob, begging for forgiveness from someone or something that wasn't visible on camera. When the authorities arrived, summoned by Martinez's panicked family, they found him trembling at the edge of the grave. What they discovered buried in the dirt shocked everyone: human remains. Authorities identified the remains as belonging to a missing person whose case had gone cold years ago. Martinez, now a suspect in the investigation, swore he had no idea how the remains ended up there. He insisted that his stunts had always been fake and that someone must have used his hoax to hide the truth, but the evidence suggested otherwise. As the police dug deeper into the case, they uncovered a chilling link between Martinez and the victim. Years earlier, in a desperate moment of anger and jealousy, Martinez had been involved in a crime he thought he had left behind. It turned out that someone else, an accomplice, had used Martinez's rise to fame an opportunity to unearth the past, leaving the remains in his grave as a gruesome reminder of their shared secret. Martinez's once promising future crumbled overnight. His family, who had believed in his dream, was left devastated. The videos that had brought him fame now became evidence in a criminal investigation. The world, once captivated by his ingenuity, now watched in morbid fascination as his life unraveled. In the end, Martinez's story became a cautionary tale about ambition unchecked by morality. His brilliance and resourcefulness had the power to lift him out of poverty, but his willingness to exploit the fears and emotions of others led him down a path of deception and darkness. His fate, a young man forced to dig his own grave, both literally and figuratively became a grim metaphor for the dangers of chasing success at any cost. And as his story faded from the headlines, the chilling question lingered: was Martinez a victim of his own ambition or something far more sinister? Martinez's arrest sent ripples through his small community and beyond. Media outlets picked apart every aspect of his life, portraying him as both a villain and a tragic figure. People debated whether his actions stemmed from sheer desperation or an inherently twisted nature. But for those who knew him well, there was an even more haunting mystery. Was there truth to his claims of being marked by something supernatural during his viral livestream? The courtroom was packed during Martinez's trial, with his family sitting in the front row, torn between love and heartbreak. Prosecutors painted him as a manipulative con artist who stopped at nothing, even murder, to achieve his goals. They presented damning evidence, not just the human remains found in the grave, but also discrepancies in his alibis and digital records tying him to the missing person. But Martinez's defense team argued another angle. They presented videos of his breakdown in the graveyard, highlighting his genuine fear and the unexplainable phenomena witnessed during the live stream. Multiple viewers testified that they had seen shadowy figures or heard strange whispers, giving credibility to his claims that he was a victim of forces beyond human understanding. The trial teetered between a case of cold, calculated crime and surreal mystery. As the days wore on, Martinez's demeanor shifted. He began murmuring in his cell, scrawling cryptic phrases on the walls, words like "the debt is paid and it won't let me go." One night, just weeks before the jury's verdict, Martinez was found unconscious in his cell, clutching a crumpled piece of paper. On it was a drawing of a figure standing over an open grave. Beneath it were the words, "Digging was only the beginning." Martinez survived the incident, but when questioned, he claimed no memory of drawing the image or writing the message. Experts dismissed it as stress-induced hallucinations, but the guards reported strange occurrences near his cell, flickering lights, unexplained cold drafts, and muffled voices echoing in the halls. The jury delivered a guilty verdict for manslaughter and fraud, sentencing Martinez to 25 years in prison. His family broke down in tears as the sentence was read, but Martinez remained eerily calm, almost relieved, as if accepting a fate he had long anticipated. However, his story didn't end there. A journalist investigating the case stumbled upon something chilling. Martinez's initial rise to fame had coincided with a series of mysterious disappearances in the same cemeteries he used for his hoaxes. Were they coincidences, or had Martinez's brilliant idea been more sinister from the start? The final twist came when the journalist uncovered an old legend tied to the cemetery where Martinez first dug his infamous grave. Locals whispered about a gravekeeper's curse, a spirit said to haunt those who disturbed the dead for personal gain. The legend spoke of victims being lured into digging their own graves, only to be claimed by the entity once their sins were unearthed. Years into his sentence, Martinez vanished without a trace. His cell was locked, the cameras showed no sign of escape, and no guards reported anything unusual. The only clue left behind was a single shovel, propped upright in the center of his cell, with dirt still clinging to its blade. His disappearance reignited public fascination, sparking debates about whether he had been taken by supernatural forces or had staged an elaborate escape. The cemeteries he had once exploited became pilgrimage sites for thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts, all hoping to catch a glimpse of the entity Martinez had feared. And somewhere, beneath the layers of skepticism and intrigue, the haunting question persisted: was Martinez truly a con man who meant poetic justice? Or had he awakened something ancient and unrelenting, a force that ultimately claimed him as its own? The grave he dug may have been his own, but the mysteries he unearthed continue to bury themselves in the shadows of those who dared to look too closely.